equipped in that point. That history, experience gives them more equipment in that area than mine. So I'd say partnering with your spouse.
With your spouse. That's great. If you're
Listen.
listening, okay,
Listen. Yeah, just listen.
okay, that's great. Because based on what he asked, I know that was where my next question was going to lead to is what is the role of other fathers in your fathering your child? Like, how are you learning from other fathers to say that, okay, I see this, pretty much the role of community and community of men in being the father that your child needs, because sometimes we want to be a father that we want to be, but not the father that the child needs. So the father that your child needs, how are you doing that?
I don't know. I've never thought about this one. I've never thought. I mean, sincerely, I've never thought about it. I think they get to experience a lot of fatherly figures, even in school.
Yeah.
And the great part is when they get home, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Brilliante said this, and Mr. Brilliante said this, and this one did this. I don't think it's right. Oh, this teacher is like this, or this man is like this, or this person taught us, and we miss him, or we don't like this person." To what they're saying, you can then kind of direct them to kind of understand what kind of father figures they should have, because they're going to leave home one of these days, right? They have to understand the kind of man and the kind of person they should look up to, because if you don't, you can't be every kind of man.
Yeah.
But you can
True.
teach them and show them a model, create a model for them in their minds of this is what a good person is, and this is what a good man is, right? And this is what a good man does, so that when they get out there into the world and they start picking advisors and role models and people that they want to look up to, even in organizations and so on and so forth, they pick the right person, right? They don't fall into the hands of someone that is, just going to live life whichever way, right? Honestly, and then, mislead them. So, yeah, I'll say, yeah.
Perfect. So wrapping up, thank you so much. And yes, so wrapping up with the last question. You want to say something? You want to add to
No, I
it?
thought you were going to ask both of us the question.
Oh,
so
no,
I was
no,
already
no, no.
preparing an answer, but it's fine.
Oh, okay, great. Great. So wrapping up, what kind of ministry would you say fatherhood is? Wrapping up with the word, like what would you say the ministry of fatherhood, what would you describe it as? And if you have to sum up your fatherhood experience in a word, as long and as short as it has been, what would you, a sentence, let me not say a word, because a word is kind of like really brief. If you have to do it with a sentence, how would you describe that experience to be so far? So the question is in two parts. What would you say the ministry of fatherhood is to you? Because it is a ministry. So
My answer is in one part.
go on. Go on.
And this is not being religious or spooky or anything. It's my experience. Both the ministry of fatherhood, what it means, and if I'm going to describe it in a sentence, is absolute dependence on God. And the reason I say that also ties back to your previous question, and
Right.
even to single fathers or single parents in our midst, right? We can't control every nuance in our kids' lives. We can't. But there is, and this is something I learned by experience, there is a God who loves those children more than we do. Like, we can't control every nuance. I'm a control freak. I would be in my boss's office back in Nigeria. He calls me in for a meeting, and I'm arranging things on his table. It's unconscious. I'm a control freak like that. So for someone like me, when I come into the room of absolute dependence, I was broken into that reality, knowing that you are not enough for all he needs. So let him be. Play your part and trust me for the most part. So that goes back to other fathers, like community of fathers, because you don't know who they're going to meet. Trust God, do your best, and leave the rest for God. We get scared too much and cover it in masculinity. How great were our parents? They did the best they could with what they had. See how we turned out. Not so bad.
Not so bad.
And we're already doing better than them. That means our kids must turn out right.
Amen.
And that's just what I want to leave us with this morning. That encouragement that it can't go wrong for them. Because that pressure is what pushes us into mistakes, into manipulation for our kids, And ultimately, that's how parents lose their kids. So again, absolute dependence on God and trusting in His word. That for our children, as long as they come through us and we're in His family, it can't go wrong for them.
Amen. Amen.